Hello everyone to the official guide on how to speedrun DDLC. Plus, this is going to be only for the 100% category. Just as a general disclaimer, this video does contain a lot of spoilers on how to complete the game itself. But just remember, if you want to figure out the game yourself, don't watch this video. Try to get everything you can by yourself, and then watch this or another guide on how to complete the game. The first thing I want to go over here is how to reset the game entirely. Resetting the game is actually quite easy. All you have to do is go through some files. From the C drive, you will want to go to the users, your name here, then to app data, local low, and by here you should recognize Team Sabato, the Doki Literature Code Plus, and then to delete all of this. Every single bit of this you delete. And you don't have to empty the recycle bin as well. It should all just be gone. And then when you launch the game again, it should be a fresh new save. So all this here, all this beginning stuff doesn't matter. This is just the game opening. This is the first thing you have to worry about. Text speed and auto forward time is always going to be maximum. Text speed, I know. When you can't skip text just loads faster on the screen, so like taps faster. When you're skipping, it doesn't matter because the text already goes as fast as it possibly can. The skip options, you obviously want to have skip both unseen text and after choices, just so you get the most skipping possible. But yeah, after this, any name here is completely fine. The speedrun starts when you press OK here. I'm not going to do it here. Because this is not going to be an actual speedrun. I don't want the splits to be all messed up because of that. Because I know I had some problems with that before. I don't know if it's fixed or not. I'll worry about that on a future day. But then you start here, and this first day it doesn't really matter. You kind of go through all of this, you just skip through it. There's nothing important here. When you get to the poems that you really gotta stop paying attention. So here, it's definitely okay to randomize all this. What I do with this first run here, is that I go for the special ending first. Alright, so I would go get all the CGs from every character. For that, you have to actually save here, so don't forget this. I forget this often, but you have to save here first, so that you can load this later. I would go for Siri, because if you random it, you're most likely gonna get Siri anyway. Like if you just click up here a bunch of times, you're probably going to get Sayori. Like watch here. But yes, I already got Sayori in this first one. But if you try to get Sayori, then you also have a chance for a perfect poem. You need to focus on Sayori a lot more for perfect poems, because he only comes up in Act 1. And just having that extra perfect poem is so important. These choices here do not matter. You can do any of these in any order that you want. What I do for this is I go ahead and position my mouse for these options so I can get them without reacting. First one I pick is Sayori, and I put my mouse up here in the corner of this doorway right here. So it's going to be exactly here at the top of my mouse. And then for Natsuki's option, I go up here to this corner. Then Yuri is in the middle of the doorway. And then Monica is down at the bottom corner right here. So by now, you get to this part, and it's whatever character you're choosing for this act. Whatever poem you did for the first character, you're going to choose here. So, for example, I did Sayori this time. I would choose Sayori, but of course if you did Natsuki or Yuri, you would pick the respective choice. But now, of course, we're still going Sayori, so we're going to go through this, and of course for the third poem as well. And that's to give us all the CGs for Sayori. You may notice that there is a special word up here that I would have to click on. But I'm not doing that now because I'm focusing on the perfect poems. Those can come later though. When I'm randoming through it, when I'm clicking through it as fast as I can, I would be looking for these words. And if I don't happen to get one, then I have to focus on that. Or if I see it when I've read a perfect poem. But for now, I'm just doing the perfect poems completely. Okay, now though, we go through this. There's nothing happens on this day, so we should be okay. And then again, if you chose Sayori, we would choose this option down here. But if you chose either Natsuki or Yuri, you would choose this option up here. I don't know if you actually need to select everything for the characters, but I'm assuming so for now. Okay, we've got the perfect poem for Sayori, so don't have to worry about it anymore. That's good. That's out of the way. Oh, by the way, also, the skip button, if you see here, on this desk, the skip button will always be just below the corner in the desk, so also look for that. For this option, if you chose Chiori, I would recommend going both Suri and Monica here, because you need to select both of these to get a picture. Now, it is assumed, it is not certain, that Natsuki's weekend is faster, so I normally choose Natsuki here. Okay, so for this option, if you went Suri, you would have to choose I Love You. For the special CG, that pops up right here. As you get out of the weekend, you can load and go back to day 1, or chapter 1. In fact, I think it doesn't matter here what you'd actually choose, because the thing is, you've already chosen one of the two characters for the weekend when you choose series route, you know? When you got series route, you choose either Natsuki or Yuri. And if you choose one here and you go through the weekend, then you still have to choose one of them again later on, because you have to do 3 weekends in total, and there's only 2 choices. So you don't actually have to go through in the weekend here. But at this point, we've already got all the characters, all the CCs. We can go right through to the series death and reset the game here. Now, it doesn't matter because this is going to be fast anyway, but you would want to load. You will want to load when you see this. It's a good tactic to also keep your mouse on the load button before you reach this. Here I will actually exit DDLC so I can get another picture. But first I'm going to show you all the pictures I do have by now. I have these 2 wallpapers here. And then we have this one, the kawaii. And you have all these poems already. You have all these poems, like almost half the poems. You have all of the CGs possible here. And no sketches, you have like most of the backgrounds, majority of the backgrounds. These are, I think, all from the side stories down here as well. You have a few sketches, and you have this when you clicked horror in the poem game. And you should in fact already have all the side stories done as well. But now this might take a while because you have to constantly open and close the game until you get this picture. And it's just really luck based. Doing this as well, you might want to have something open on the side that you can play with or do, because this might get a little boring over time. Okay, yeah, so this is the bug. Sometimes when you exit DDLC, you will get this bug. It hasn't been fixed yet. I have actually put in a report to the bug before, but that was actually a few days ago. Maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago actually. So what happens is that you exit the DDLC and you can't actually click on any of the menu items or options. It's whatever your mouse was hovered over last is selected.
2,000 years later.
Oh my god, that took way too long. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. There's nothing you really have to technically worry about here, other than the pivot poems that you missed for either Natsuki or Yuri. And the special poems, this is not a special poem actually. This is just a picture that you get randomly. This doesn't really count towards anything at all. But unfortunately, I cannot actually do Yuri's pivot poem because you have to get 2 poems for Natsuki first. Special player missing gives you another picture that you have to get. So you don't have to save her anymore. There's no more saving in this game, really. Oh yeah, that. Oh, that actually kind of scared me. That scared me a little bit. Yeah, you have to actually click on that word. It gives you a picture as well, so it's a good thing I got that down. And then this also doesn't count towards anything. This is something that could happen. It's a 1 in 4 chance. That doesn't mean anything. No matter what, though, you do have to spend time with Yuri. Don't be alarmed by this, but you do have Natsuki seen as long as you did the 2 poems for her. And now you have another picture. But now, though, you can again try to get the Yuri pivot poem through this, because there's nothing else to really worry about. Don't forget, if you choose series words for a character, it doesn't count as their word. It still counts as series words. If Monica pops up here, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a pivot poem. Now, there's actually something special here you can do. You may think at first that you can just skip through all of this, and that's going to be the fastest way. If you go to load and you go to the autosave, there's something interesting that happens. Time is moving forward. I don't know what causes this, or why this is a thing, but this is definitely faster than skipping. And with a few clicks of this, you should already be to the end of the weekend. I don't know why that happens, but it's a cool glitch that you could use and makes it a lot faster. That was one that Skyweeze came up with, you know, the previous world record holder, even though he was on the console. But you can click through all of this. There's nothing important here you have to do. And because the text speed is up, it's easy to just click through all of this. But here I do, in fact, get 15 of Monica's monologues. I get to click through them all for a very, very long time. There's no way around this as I know of. This one doesn't count, of course. And then after I get over the monologues, I get that picture. I go press skip, and then after I can go to the menu again, I reset the game. Oh, I delete Monica, not reset the game. Monica resets the game for me. Now this as well, this is another thing that happens is because I'm recording it. I don't know if this is going to be like allowed, doing like, you know, unrecorded speedruns or whatever. I don't know if that's going to be a thing in the future at all, but it's something that I have to go through, and it definitely adds time onto the run. This is a disadvantage to people who actually want to make content with this. But you do get this cool jump scare anyway. Okay, here it begins. This is the waiting game. There's normally 20 or 30 seconds between each monologue. So it's good. It's also good here to have something on the side as well. You don't want to wait entirely the whole time. But you also want to make sure you're keeping count as well. Should actually almost have all the poems. Okay, now we press skip here. Okay, so settings here, exit game. If you counted your monologues correctly, you should have 15. You should have, was it this picture? Yeah, this picture. And then you can go ahead and delete Monica and continue on to the end. And then we get here, and this is where we get the special ending. By now I can go ahead, it should say that, we got kicked out of the game. And now we have all of these pictures here as well. You got the last poem here. No more CGs, none of this. These two are for the special ending here. You could press reset, you could reset the entire game. You do get the bug though where it won't open. You have to open DDLC again actually. That's a bug that I hope will be fixed as well in the future. And once you press yes, this is when you split. A good spot for the no down there is over here, actually in this little area you can see by the corners. Then I agree is going to be on Yuri's hair right around here. Okay, then the settings are all saved. You don't have to worry about the settings at any point at all. Then new game. And if you really are worried about how fast like the text goes, you could like do one letter. Because the words load one letter at a time. Now you of course have to write a poem for each character in each chapter. That does not count as a special picture as well, a secret poem. That does not count. Now what you want to do here is you want to exit DLC first, and then you got to delete Monica. And this should give you another picture. Now this will give me the regular ending. And then the OK is just in the same spot every time. You just click OK, the finishing poem for Monica that you get here. By now, you should have all these pictures done by here. You have these two secrets that you got on the way through. You have these sketches. We got these. And then by now, you should be done with the second one of DLC. I think that should be actually when you press OK, like as the game kicks you out to split then. What I did before is that I reset the game first and then I split. But by this point, you should be going on the side stories. Side stories really aren't anything important. You just have to know where all the side stories are on the menu and then make sure you keep up to date which ones you have done and which ones you haven't done. Okay, so by here, right now, that's when you split. The point where you kick back to the menu, that's where you split. Now we have all of the wallpapers. Those are all done. We have all of the poems. We have all the CGs. The secrets we still have to get. That's in the main game. All the backgrounds, a few more sketches, and one more promo to do. Oh no, all these sketches are actually from other things that you do outside of DDLC. So by now, you would be going in and you would be collecting all the other pictures. One of them being the emo picture. So it's character discrepancy. It's the third one you get. And then you go to poem words. Once you click that, you immediately have a new picture. The last thing you have to do is that you actually have to reset the game once more. Pretty much delete Monica before you launch DDLC. Delete her, and now you should get this. Siri pops up and it dies. And now you have this sketch right down here, and that's the last sketch there is. So all I have to do is get the secret poems and get that last promo. So after going through and getting all the secret pictures, we also have the promo down here. It's that person says my wallpaper every time. That should be the end of the other pictures. Once you check off all the pictures, once you see everything, you split here, and then you go down to music. This is the end of this video, and this is when you're on the Candy Hearts and Test VM. It's this song down here, song number 25 that you have to play. And I normally check to see if everything here, just once again, just to make completely certain that I have everything. And I definitely do. Now, you don't actually have to listen to the whole song. In fact, at just around 58 seconds into the song, this time up here will update to 107. Okay, there it is. So by now you can now play it. Whenever this changes to 100%, you should be done. There we go. And now you can go ahead to side stories, and this will be here now. And once you hit the test VM, that is when you split. And then that's it. That's when you're done. Speedrun is finished by then. And there you have it. That's how you speedrun DDLC. That's from beginning to end, everything that I know so far and that has been found so far. Before I do end this video though, I was hoping to share things that I just found in the pictures. Last episode, I did in fact find Morse code in DDLC Plus. But after that, I got inspired to check more of the pictures, see what was in there, if anything at all was in there. Obviously, everything in here is going to be important on the billboard right here. We got months, we got times here, days. Now, this might be a secret code of some sort. I don't know what this would be. I didn't find anything with that. I didn't know what I would even do with it, to be honest. And we have events on here, more dates. Obviously, you know, if you try to zoom in, there's not enough pixels. In fact, there's not enough pixels to read it, so it's all just kind of blurry. But we do have Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday on the board. You can kind of see that here. We have this chart down here as well. I don't know what this chart is supposed to be for. This, I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's probably nothing, in fact. Other than that, the most interesting thing I think I found was this up here. This one bit, don't forget, ask Monica about this. That caught my eye mostly because it's ask Monica about this, really. I don't know, like, what's that supposed to be or anything, but we can't interact with Monica, so that's probably something for the future at least. But that's interesting to note. I also had this up here. Maybe this music means something. I don't know. I'm not a music guy. There's probably nothing there. Just random music notes. Then there's this up here. These few posters up here that you could try to read. Again, it's very pixelated. The only thing to really note here in the closet area is this picture right here. This little picture. Because if you can see, obviously that is not anything like the characters look like in this reality. This is more real life. When I zoomed in on this myself, this seemed to be like some sort of event that came out from. These are actually real people right here, so I don't know what that's doing there. With that being said though, that is the guide to speedrun 100% of DDLC. And I hope this was useful. Of course, later in the future, this will be updated as maybe there are more threats to be found out, quicker ways of doing things, more places you can put your mouse before the options actually pop up and all that. But for now, that's all I found. That's all I have for you guys, and I hope that you guys can get a pretty good time yourselves. If you want to, that is. So guys, be happy. Bye.